What is the meaning of inventory? So the meaning of inventory or stock, we refer to inventory as stock as well. So stock refers to the goods and materials kept in the store or warehouse. So basically stock is nothing but all the goods that you store in your warehouse. Now this stock may be used for your production as raw materials, work in progress and finished goods which are then sold to the customers. Now stock is an important current asset for the firm because it can be easily liquidated. Now what is a current asset? A current asset is something that can be easily liquidated and converted into cash, which is a resource of a firm. Now the types of stock includes raw materials, work in progress, finished goods, consumable stock and stock in trade. Now let's understand all these concepts in detail. What is a raw material? A raw material is nothing but the material in its purest form or the raw form. So suppose if you have a furniture industry, you are working in a furniture factory. So what is your raw material? In order to make the furniture, the basic raw material that you require is wood or timber. So that is the rawest form of the material which is required in production is called as your raw material. Now the second point or the second type of stock is work in progress. Now what is work in progress? Work in progress is also known as semi-finished good or unfinished good. Now this is the material which has been converted from its raw form to a form, but it has not reached its finished product form. So the wood, we were talking about the furniture factory. So the same example we would take, the wood is being cut down and it is polished and made into wooden planks or wooden sheets. Now this is not completely finished. You don't see the furniture as the finished product, but it has changed from its raw form. Now this is known as work in progress. What is the third category? The third category is the finished good. Now finished good is the good that is ready to be sold to the customer. So the furniture, if you are building a table or a chair, the finished product is the furniture which is ready and it can be delivered to the customer. So this is the third type of stock. What is the fourth type of stock? It is called consumable stock. Now these are materials that are consumed during the production process. So you would have seen various small nuts and bolts which have to be used during the production stage, or certain byproducts which are to be used during the production stage. So these products are known as consumable goods. So during the process of production, these products are getting consumed by the factory. Now the last category of stock is called stock in trade. So these are items that can be traded in a factory. So all the items that has a resale value, certain byproducts. So you would have heard from certain factories or industries that the byproduct or the waste material from the factory is being reused as fertilizers. So all these products that has a resale value are known as stock in trade. So they're basically all the products that can be traded as stock. So we saw what is the meaning of stock, why inventory is important is what we are going to deal with, and what are the types of different stocks. What are the different types? Let's just sum up once again. So the different types of stock include raw materials, semi-finished goods or work in progress, then you have the finished goods, consumable goods, and finally stock in trade. Now, as I said, moving on to the next slide, inventory is a very important current asset. What is a current asset? A current asset is nothing but something that can be liquidated. So you can convert it into cash in an easy method. So that is called current asset. Now why is stock called a current asset? Because whenever you require the stock that you have, you can use it and convert it into the finished product. Now what do we do with the finished product? We sell it and we get a revenue out of it. So that is why stock is considered as a current asset. Now inventory is also called, it is also something that determines the profitability of the firm. Now why is it called as a determinant of profitability? because the more faster you convert your stock into finished good and trade it, the more profits come into your factory or your production process. The faster you convert the order cycle, the shorter the order cycle, you get all your finished products sold fast and you get returns for that product in a faster means. So this is why inventory is considered as a determinant of profitability. The next point, excess of inventory within pipeline increases the overall working capital requirement. Now what happens when you have excess inventory? Suppose if you need only say 10,000 units of a particular raw material, but you have 12,000 units in stock. So the 2,000 units is an excess unit which is being stored in the factory. Now what happens when you have an excess? You have to maintain that, you have to protect that stock. It is an additional cost for the firm, right? It is an additional expense for the firm. So the more inventory, the excess inventory that you hold in a firm will always be an extra cost for the factory. So always factories or the production units, they have to maintain the optimum level of inventory. Whatever is required has to be maintained. It shouldn't be more or it shouldn't be less. What happens when it's more? It is excess cost. And what happens when it is less? You don't have enough stock for your production. So what happens? The production gets disrupted, which will definitely affect the profitability of the firm. So that is why inventory is very important and it is a key determinant of the profitability of a firm. Now the last point, inventory aims to reduce cost and simultaneously improve services. Now how is it able to reduce the cost? When you have the optimum stock with you, what happens? You make the optimum utilization of these resources. Whatever stock you have in the organization, it is completely utilized to the fullest capacity. So the cost can be controlled. And why is it contributing to improved customer service? Because the more faster you convert the stock into finished product, you can satisfy the demand of the customers, you can deliver the products at the quality at the right time to the customers, and therefore customer satisfaction is also guaranteed. So this is why inventory is considered very important. It is an integral part of any production business or any operations, and it is also a key determinant of the profitability of the firm.